Today, we have the AMD version of the Acer Swift 3 SF314. This is the entry-level model with the Ryzen 5 5500U and integrated Vega 6 graphics. The APU seems like a good choice, but is it convincing in real-world use? The Acer Swift 3 is built from metal, just like its predecessor. The chic, slim aluminum case isn't flashy, but it features high-quality accents, particularly with regard to the solid feel of its corners and edges. The tight hinges are convincing. They hardly wobble when the laptop is carried around and hold firm when typing. They open to a maximum of 130 degrees. However, one-handed opening is not possible. While most laptops in this price range have standard USB 3 Type-C ports, the Acer Swift 3 has Thunderbolt 4. In addition to higher bandwidth, the Thunderbolt port supports DisplayPort via USB-C. Coupled with the HDMI slot, this allows the Swift 3 to support two video outputs, two USB-A 3.1 Gen 2 ports, and a combo audio jack round out the connectivity options. The notebook does not have a memory card reader. Acer still uses a small barrel jack for the 65-watt power supply. The Swift 3 lacks a maintenance hatch, but the base plate is easy to remove after loosening a handful of screws. The laptop's RAM is unfortunately soldered, so there's no option for upgrading memory. Only the Wi-Fi card and the M.2 SSD can be replaced. Acer equips the laptop's chiclet keyboard with a single-level backlight. The flat, smooth keys offer a short stroke and a clear pressure point. Key resistance is acceptable. The keyboard does not flex while typing. The multi-touch click pad occupies an area of about 10.5 by 6.5 centimeters, giving lots of space for gestures. Users' fingers can easily glide across the smooth surface. The corners of the pad respond to inputs accurately. While the Intel version of the Swift 3 has an AU Optronics panel that delivered excellent results in our tests, its AMD cousin uses a screen from Qimei. This panel unfortunately falls short of the AUO screen. The sRGB color space is no longer fully covered, and the average brightness is lower. Case in point, the screen is not usable in sunlight due to the low maximum brightness. The backlight perceivably gets brighter toward the center of the screen. There is no visible backlight bleed. One negative aspect is the use of PWM to reduce brightness below 20%. However, we measured PWM at 25,000 Hz, so it shouldn't be too troublesome. The Swift 3's IPS panel has stable viewing angles, so the screen is legible from any position. The 6-core Ryzen 5 5500U clocks up to 3.9 GHz. While it has good compute performance, it admits defeat to Intel's 11th gen processors in single-core benchmarks. However, the Ryzen takes the crown in multi-core tests. Interestingly, the Swift 3's Ryzen 5 5500U falls below the average performance of the APU we have in our database, although the difference of roughly 1% is marginal. We noticed lackluster performance in PC Mark X's productivity and essentials tests. In contrast, the Swift 3 scores well in digital content creation. This could be due to the fast dual-channel RAM and lower latency. The Kingston SSD is only moderately fast and not especially noteworthy. The Swift 3 doesn't produce much noise under load. At idle, the fan is still and silence reigns. Under load, it barely revs up. We measured it at 38 decibels in our stress test and 34 decibels under medium load. This is fairly quiet, which should be the case for a highly portable subnotebook. After all, nobody wants to take a space heater to the library. The Swift 3 doesn't show any peculiarities in terms of energy consumption. The laptop draws a maximum of 7.7 watts when idle and an average of 44 watts under load. In our practical Wi-Fi battery test, the Acer Swift 3 hits a runtime of 8 hours, 25 minutes. That is shorter than most competitors, but the AMD-powered Swift 3 only has a 48 watt-hour battery, unlike the 56 watt-hour cell in the Intel version. Acer's Swift 3 SF314-43 is a decent 14-inch notebook wrapped in a slim metal chassis. The compact case weighs only 1.3 kilograms and is only 16.5 millimeters thin. Despite its skinny profile, the machine offers excellent stability and haptics, especially at this price range. Our main criticism lies with the screen's low brightness. An average of 230 nits is too low, even for a matte display. Additionally, the Ryzen 5 5500 APU, which is otherwise known for its good performance, throttles more than expected, especially during the Cinebench R15 loop test. However, the Swift 3 SF314-43 still outperforms Intel laptops, or is at least on par with them. While the Acer Swift 3 SF314-43 is a good all-around laptop, if you want to learn more about the Acer Swift SF314, visit our detailed review on notebookcheck.net. If this review was helpful, let us know by leaving a like. Be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any future video reviews. Thanks for watching.